Today's AI is excellent at following instructions, recognizing patterns, and generating answers, but it doesn't truly understand the world, and it definitely doesn't think for itself. Now imagine something very different, a machine that can learn any task a human can, reason through completely new problems, and adapt without being trained for every situation. That idea has a name: Artificial General Intelligence, or AGI. If it ever becomes real, AGI wouldn't just upgrade our technology. It could reshape the economy, science, and even the future of human civilization. But here's the deeper question that scientists are already debating. If we ever build AGI, would it simply be intelligent? Or could it actually become conscious? And that question might be the most important one of all. Right now, artificial intelligence is everywhere. It's so deeply woven into our lives that we barely even notice it. The AI that recommends your next movie, the GPS that reroutes you around a traffic jam, the chatbot that handles your customer service query. These are all forms of AI, but they all share one critical trait. They are what we call artificial narrow intelligence, or ANI. Think of narrow AI as a brilliant specialist. It's designed to do one single thing or a very limited set of things exceptionally well. An AI can be trained to beat the world champion at chess, but it can't take that logic and figure out how to make a cup of coffee. An AI can scan thousands of medical images and spot tumors with stunning accuracy, but it has zero understanding of what a tumor actually is or the human impact of its diagnosis. These systems are masters of pattern recognition within a set domain, but they lack flexibility, genuine understanding, and the ability to apply what they know to a totally new problem. Even today's most advanced language models are still fundamentally considered narrow AI. They're incredibly sophisticated mimics, trained on oceans of data to predict the next most likely word in a sentence. They can write a poem about sadness, but they can't feel sadness. If these systems can already write, reason, and even mimic human conversation, then where exactly is the line? At what point does a tool stop being just a tool and start becoming something more? Because the next step in AI isn't just better at one task, it's something that could do everything. And that's where we enter the idea of artificial general intelligence. So if what we have now is narrow AI, what is artificial general intelligence, or AGI? AGI is the future form of AI that could understand, learn, and apply its intelligence to solve any problem, much like a human being. Where a narrow AI is a savant in one area, an AGI would be a polymath. It could learn to translate languages, use that knowledge to understand programming syntax, and then apply that to solve a physics problem, all without being explicitly retrained for each task. This ability to transfer learning across unrelated domains is a hallmark of human intelligence that current AI lacks. OpenAI's own charter defines AGI as highly autonomous systems that outperform humans at most economically valuable work. An AGI would also need cognitive abilities that are still uniquely human, like abstract thinking, grasping cause and effect, and most importantly, common sense. That's the invisible web of knowledge we all have about how the world works. A narrow AI might only know word associations, not the underlying physics and real-world consequences. An AGI would have that contextual map of the world. As of today, the consensus is that true AGI is a theoretical goal. However, that view is now being challenged. In early 2026, a group of experts at the University of California, San Diego argued that by reasonable standards, AGI has already arrived, pointing to models that can now pass the Turing test more consistently than humans. So the big question isn't just what will it take to get there, but also, are we already there? But even if AGI sounds like the next logical step, getting there isn't just difficult. It might be one of the hardest problems humanity has ever attempted, because building something that can truly think like us isn't about scaling what we already have. It means solving problems we don't fully understand ourselves. And right now, there are a few massive barriers standing in the way. barriers that are stopping AI from making that final leap? The journey from the AI of today to true AGI isn't a straight line. It's a road filled with massive challenges that go way beyond just building bigger computer chips. Researchers are tackling countless issues, but they can be grouped into three monumental roadblocks. First is developing common sense and intuition. Today's AI doesn't truly get the world. We build a mental map of reality through our senses and experiences. An AI can analyze 1,000,000 pictures of a bird, but it's unlikely to have the intuitive leap to realize that studying its wings could unlock the secrets of aerodynamics and lead to inventing a flying machine. This deep, contextual understanding is what allows us to handle ambiguity. Current AIs can hallucinate or make up incorrect information precisely because they are manipulating patterns, not knowledge. The second challenge is transfer learning. A huge part of human intelligence is our ability to take knowledge from one area and apply it to a totally different one. A doctor can use their diagnostic skills to figure out why their car won't start even without mechanic training. Today's AI just can't do that. The AI trained to find tumors is clueless if you ask it for a dinner recipe. For AGI to be real, it must be able to generalize its skills and apply abstract ideas across different fields without needing to be retrained from scratch. The third roadblock is the sheer scale and complexity required, not just technologically, but societally. The computational power and data needed to even approach AGI are astronomical, potentially demanding infrastructure and energy on a scale we've never seen. But beyond the tech, there's a huge question of trust. With current AI already sparking fears about job security, imagine the societal resistance to machines that can think for themselves. Are we ready to accept machines that could potentially surpass us? That question of trust might be the highest hurdle of all. If we ever do create AGI, its arrival will be a turning point in human history, an event powerful enough to reshape our society, our economy, and even our definition of what it means to be human. The implications are staggering, painting pictures of both utopia and dystopia. On the bright side, AGI could spark an era of unbelievable progress. Economically, the impact could be massive, with some estimates suggesting AI technologies could add trillions to the global GDP. AGI could handle complex cognitive tasks, freeing up humans to focus on creativity, strategy, and empathy. In science and medicine, AGI could supercharge breakthroughs. Imagine an AI discovering new drugs in minutes or modeling climate systems to solve global warming. This could lead to a world of abundance where AI helps us crack humanity's biggest challenges. However, the path is also full of peril. The most immediate risk is massive job displacement. As AGI takes over not just manual labor, but complex creative and professional jobs, widespread unemployment could become a reality, making economic inequality much worse. The World Economic Forum has already predicted that even current AI could displace tens of millions of jobs, a trend AGI would likely send into overdrive. Beyond the economy are profound ethical risks. Concentrating this much power in the hands of a few corporations could enable scary levels of surveillance or social control. How do we make sure an intelligence far beyond our own stays aligned with human values? A single poorly worded command to a super-intelligent AGI could have catastrophic results. Stephen Hawking famously warned that a fully developed AGI could take off on its own and redesign itself at an ever-increasing rate, potentially leaving humanity behind. But all of these risks and possibilities assume one thing, that AGI is just a powerful tool, something that thinks but doesn't feel. Beyond intelligence, there's an even deeper, more profound question: could an AGI ever be conscious? It's crucial to understand that intelligence and consciousness are not the same thing. Intelligence is the ability to solve problems, while consciousness is subjective, internal experience, what it actually feels like to be you. This is what philosopher David Chalmers famously called the hard problem of consciousness, explaining how and why physical processes in the brain give rise to subjective feelings, like the redness of a sunset or the feeling of pain. We can build an AI that says "ouch" when injured, but we have no way of knowing if it feels pain. Current AI models are sophisticated mimics, but there's no reason to believe they have an inner life or emotions. They compute. They don't experience. The debate is split. Some scientists believe consciousness is an emergent property of complex computation, meaning a sufficiently advanced AGI could theoretically wake up. Others argue that consciousness is fundamentally biological, tied to the specific hardware of living brains, meaning a silicon-based machine could only ever simulate it. The frightening reality is we don't have a reliable test for consciousness even in other humans. We may never be able to definitively prove whether an AI is truly conscious or just an incredibly convincing imitation. And maybe that's the most unsettling part of all. We're building something we might never fully understand, not just in how it works, but in what it is. Because in trying to create intelligence, we've ended up confronting questions about consciousness, identity, and what it even means to be human. And that's why this isn't just a story about technology anymore, it's a story about us. The AI in our lives today is a powerful, specialized tool, a narrow intelligence that's amazing at specific jobs. But on the horizon is the promise and the peril of artificial general intelligence, a machine that can reason, learn, and create with the flexibility of a human mind. While the debate now includes whether AGI is already here in some form, getting to the kind of AGI that could truly change the world means overcoming enormous hurdles. This journey isn't just a technical quest, it's a philosophical one. It forces us to ask huge questions about intelligence, work, and our own place in the world. The real question isn't just if we can build AGI, but how we'll prepare for its arrival and coexist with it once we do.